Hello out there. And
And it's lights out and away we go. Except it's not. That's the aborted start from last night.
that's Yuki Tsunoda's start.
Yuki Tsunoda's pulled off to the side of the track. Jesus.
All right. Hello out there. And fuck it. I've done it twice.
By God
bloopers. The blooper reel
Should I
already.
host tonight and you co-host?
Right. Hello out there in internet land. This is episode 17 of the 2023 season of the F1 Chat. This is race 14, which is Monza. I'm your host, Phil Lamington, and sitting to my left is a man who takes zero risk. That's JB. JB, how are you, my friend?
It's not entirely true. Depends on who you talk to.
Is it proper no risk, or is it Charles Leclerc version?
It's Nicky Lauda's 20% risk. But no more than 20% risk.
As opposed to the James Hunt slammy visor and go, fuck it!
Well, look, depending on how many beers I've had, I could be Nicky Lauda or James Hunt.
Or the in-between, which is Charles Leclerc.
Zero risk.
Zero risk.
Okay.
Waves on by as he's screwing up the tyres. Hey! Hi, I'm here!
Oh my goodness.
Right, now, conspicuous by his absence, there is no Longhorn this week. He is away on assignment, doing some field reporting. Not for us, but doing some field reporting. Hopefully.
In a field somewhere.
He's in a field somewhere. He's joined Logan Sargent.
Just sitting in the grass.
or Fred Vesti after the F2 race.
Yeah, just sitting on the mound. Contemplating life. Asking all the big questions.
Why am I here? Who's going to cover my F2 report?
Yeah.
But first, before we get to the F2 report, we have a thing about the F3.
Yeah, just a quick shout out, Formula 3, because I actually watched the F3 race. Congratulations to Gabriel Bortoletto, your 2023 FIA Formula 3 World Champion. Well driven young man. Hopefully a good future lies ahead for you, sir. Congratulations.
Right. And there's also that Mackay girl that's doing the go-karting.
Yeah, Jua. Apologies, I've forgotten your name.
That's right, Mackay girl.
Yeah, she's a Mackay girl. She's in Italy right now. The go-karting championships. And she is competing for a spot in the Ferrari Drivers Academy. I cannot find her name right now. Jua Porter something.
Mackay girl.
Yeah, Mackay girl. Look, I will rectify it on the next podcast.
I'll probably type it up and actually put it on the screen now.
Yeah. Sorry, we will. Yes. Apologies.
Yeah, it was kind of on the spot.
I had your name yesterday, but and I followed your page, so best of luck to you. It would be amazing to see a Mackay girl driving a Ferrari on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, it'd be great.
How cool would that be?
And she'll probably end up in the new Formula
W, the Academy Series?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's not called Formula W, though. It's called, like, Formula Academy.
Yeah, the Formula Academy.
Because Susie Wolf is in charge of it.
Yes.
So she'll probably end up there, and that'll be it. Yeah. All right, F2 results.
Yes.
JB.
Well, I'm just trying to find the a write-up, actually. There's a lot of stuff about Monza here. So basically, I only have the results. There's usually a report, but I can't seem to find it.
Well, it was a pretty slappy
There was
race.
a lot of, like, really IndyCar-ish driving.
Yeah.
We did watch the highlights. Turns out F2 drivers don't use mirrors.
Yeah, well, at least we can pinpoint what's wrong with Logan Sargent. Because they drive like they're Logan Sargent and Nicholas Latifi.
Yeah.
Just zero risk.
Yeah.
There was no risk in the portfolio whatsoever. So, the race was won by Oliver Behrman.
Yeah.
Second place was Iwasa.
Yeah, Ayumi Iwasa, yeah.
And third place was Teo Pourchaire.
Yes.
With Fitty fucking Paulie coming in fourth.
Yeah.
I can say that.
You're allowed to say that.
I'm allowed to say that. Dennis Hauger was fifth. Jack Doohan was sixth. Johan Deruvala was seventh. And Cordial was eighth.
Yeah. And Frederick Rusty spun out. He is the guy who was chasing Teo Pourchaire for the championship. And he spun out and crashed. He got shoved onto the grass. Coming out of the curve at Grande, I'm pretty sure. And he just spun it into the wall. So he's basically handed the championship to Teo Pourchaire. He's got a 25-point lead coming into the final race of the Formula 2 season. I'm not sure how the point system works in Formula 2, but it's not enough for him to clinch the championship yet, but allegedly he's got one hand and four fingers on the trophy.
The thing is, like, even watching the highlights there, it looks like none of them deserve to actually be in F1. Like, none of them deserve to win.
We've said that the last 3 times we've spoken about the Formula 2 championship.
Yeah,
and every time they go out there, they just prove us right.
Yeah.
It's just like, you don't use your mirrors, you've got no racecraft. You drive it like an Indy car. Like, where's your finesse? Where's your...
Well, it reminds me of James Hunt's nickname, Hunt the Shunt.
Yeah.
That's
they
how
all
they drive.
Longhorn was right. They all drive like Logan Sargent. All of them. It's like a grid of 30 Logan Sargents.
Yeah.
They're all just equally terrible.
Or Nicholas Latifi.
Yeah. No wonder Sogan Largent is so underprepared for Formula 1.
Yeah.
That's what he came from.
Yeah.
But then you look at a guy like Piastri, you look at a guy like Mick Schumacher. The previous generations seem to have so much more talent than the current generation. And I just don't know where that next Max Verstappen is coming from.
And it's a shame, like, some of these drivers like Logan Sargent get a shot and they're on a team that's on the up and up. And then you had half-decent drivers like Pascal Wehrlein who never really got a fair crack.
There's a lot of drivers that never really got a fair crack.
Callum Eilert,
Max Ericsson.
Schwartzman
was sort of there. Yeah, Schwartzman's just been on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Like, Drogovic has been just moping around in Team Gear, wherever he is now.
Drogovic,
is he Alpine's?
No, he's Aston Martin's reserve driver.
Yeah, his name was Stoffel Van Dorn.
Yeah.
They're just sort of just mulling around the paddock doing nothing. Driving simulators.
Just go and do some GT driving sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, none of this grid, even Teo Pourchaire, who I thought, honestly, was the next talent, barely. None of them are deserving of an F1 seat the way they all drive, the way they all just have complete disregard for racecraft and, IndyCar-style driving. The amount of drivers that were just blatantly shoved into the grass was astronomical. Like, really? Did you not see him when the mirrors on the F2 cars just don't work? Maybe in the new generation F2 cars, they can have bigger mirrors. Because clearly these ones don't work.
I reckon in the new generation F2 cars, they should have a reverse camera.
Yeah. The GT Le Mans cars have cameras out the arse.
Yeah.
So you can see drivers coming behind you.
Yeah.
All of them. It's mandatory.
Yeah, well, it's a safety thing for, like, Le Mans. Like, you've got to drive
F2 cars on the Halo is just a big, rounded fucking rearview mirror.
Yeah.
It's just like, now you can't possibly miss them. It's just like a big rearview mirror.
It's like Screen X at the cinema.
You know what you need? Like, on those new style cars, how they have, like, the lane departure lights on that. If there's a guy beside you, there'll be an orange light on your mirror. Don't turn. Because apparently that's what you need, because this is the level of talent, lack of talent we're dealing with.
Like a big yellow light.
Yeah.
And in your earphones you hear this
warning.
Ding, 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 ding,
like a sonar, like dee, 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 the closer the car gets.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, like a reversing sensor the closer you get.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that is what you need. Like, at this stage, the way they drove in Zandvoort and the way they drove here on a dry track is just really lacking guile and racecraft.
Don't bring Street Fighter characters into this, all right? to steal a phrase from the movie Days of Thunder, they look like a monkey fucking football out there.
They do. And this is supposed to be the crop of the crop. Vesti's like the guy challenging Porsche, and he gets squeezed, and what does he do instead of lifting? He just keeps it planted and rotates the car on the grass.
And then gets on the radio and has
He's
a big
like,
old suit.
It's like, man, maybe you should have lifted.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't have rotated yourself into the wall. But
I mean, if you want a prime example of when someone should have lifted when they didn't, look at Rosberg and Hamilton crashing back in, 2016
at Spain.
which was Max Verstappen's first win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just look at that.
Yeah. Maybe you should have lifted.
Yeah. You know? Or friggin' Senna and Prost in Japan. Both times.
Both times.
Both times.
The second time was a bit more nasty than the first, but the second one was done with a hell of a lot more conviction. Oh, dear.
It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
Message sent.
You've got mail.
Prost has got mail.
Oh, his mail got sent back.
He got returned to sender 12 months later. Hey, Alan, you dropped this.
Shit.
Shit.
All right, we're going to move on from F2 to the F1 report.
Yeah,
Take
keep
it
on
away.
rolling. I do have notes for this one. All right, the 2023 Pirelli Formula One Italian Grand Prix from the Internazionale Autodromo di Monza, except in Italian. Lap 1, Carlos Sainz starts on pole position alongside Max Verstappen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, a Ferrari on pole. The start is delayed as Yuki Tsunoda's AlphaTauri clunks out on the formation lap at the Parabolica. Lap 2, Carlos Sainz holds off Max Verstappen to lead the Grand Prix into Turn 1 off the restart. Oscar Piastri passes Alex Albon for 6th. Lap 3, Alex Albon squeezes back past Oscar Piastri. Lap 12, Kevin Magnussen is passed by Fernando Alonso and Liam Lawson. Lap 15, Carlos Sainz locks a front right brake under the pressure from Max Verstappen, and Max takes advantage around the outside of Curva Grande, passing Sainz for the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Lap 16, Sergio Perez passes George Russell for 4th. Lap 20, Carlos Sainz and George Russell pit for fresh hard tyres. George Russell is noted for leaving the track and gaining an advantage against Esteban Ocon. Lap 21, Max Verstappen pits for hard tyres, as does Charles Leclerc. Lap 23, Lando Norris pits for hard tyres. Lap 24, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri touch but get away with it. Meanwhile, George Russell is handed a 5-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage in his incident with Esteban Ocon. Lap 25, Max Verstappen passes Lewis Hamilton for the lead of the Grand Prix into Turn 1. Lap 31, Sergio Perez nearly hits Carlos Sainz into the second chicane. The Roggia chicane, I think it's called. Lap 32, Sergio Perez passes Charles Leclerc for 3rd. Lap 41, Lewis Hamilton and Oscar Piastri make contact into Turn 1. Piastri pits for a new front wing. Lap 44, Lewis Hamilton is given a 5-second time penalty for causing the collision with Piastri. Lap 45, Lewis Hamilton passes Lando Norris for 7th. Lap 46, Sergio Perez finally gets past Carlos Sainz for 2nd. Lap 51, Charles Leclerc nearly plows into the back of Carlos Sainz after Ferrari had told them to no risk, I think was the radio message. But regardless, Charles Leclerc nearly takes out both the Ferraris on the final lap of the race, which would have been hilarious and agonising. But they got away with it. And Max Verstappen wins the Italian Grand Prix, his record-breaking 10th consecutive victory in a row. Sergio Perez comes home second. Carlos Sainz is third. Red Bull also scored their record-breaking 15th win in a row. Oscar Piastri gets the fastest lap. Carlos Sainz gets driver of the day.
And Charles Leclerc comes fourth for Ferrari. George Russell comes fifth for Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton is sixth for Mercedes. Alexander Albon is seventh in the Williams. Lando Norris is eighth in McLaren. Fernando Alonso is ninth in the Aston Martin. And Valtteri Bottas is 10th in the Alfa Romeo.
Some surprises out there.
Well, I'm going to put up the full classification here. Right, so we had two retirements, which was Tsunoda and Ocon.
Yeah.
Now, in qualifying, Ocon and Gasly were like the absolute pits. They were at rock bottom. And clearly they didn't go anywhere.
Yes. I can't even remember how Ocon left the race. I didn't even write it down.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was dozing in and out of that second half of the race.
But you know who else did extremely crap in this race all weekend? Lance Stroll. He was nowhere.
That dude is going to be picking up a tennis racket next year. Like, I don't care if you're the boss's son. It's unacceptable.
No.
Like, look at Fernando. Like, the Aston Martin, clearly this wasn't their track. And clearly them being the second fastest car on the grid is no longer the case, far and away from it. But if you're, almost 10 places behind your teammate in similar machinery, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like something, unless you've crashed, unless you had wing damage, unless something happened. And I'm pretty sure Stroll kept his nose clean the whole race.
Yeah, because he was around no one for the whole time.
I have no idea what's wrong with him. It was the same last week in Zandvoort. Except he was running Inters at the right time, but he was down with the soft tyre runners.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's up with him lately. I really don't.
He's taking a seat that could have gone to someone who's actually got talent.
Well, yeah.
Though. So we'll go into key drivers then. We'll just go into the key drivers and then we'll bark on about this a bit more. First key driver is Carlos Sainz.
Hell of a weekend.
It was his birthday on Friday as well.
Yep. Whacked it on pole.
When's the
last time Ferrari had pole? Last year, probably?
No, earlier this year, but it was Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I mean, the race is sitting there making videos, making out that Ferrari failed and their failure was a big failure. And it's like...
I'm pretty sure this is an achievement. Did you not see, like, the last 10 races?
Yeah, I mean...
They've been, like, 6th and 7th. Like, they've been nowhere.
Because they're British, they're obviously going to sit there and say it was a failure because Lewis Hamilton didn't win.
Of course.
Of
course.
But Carlos Sainz drove the legs off that car.
And Charles Leclerc too, to be fair.
Yeah, well, he was my next key driver.
He was right there with him the whole weekend.
Yeah, he drove with no risk at all.
Except for the last lap.
Yeah,
If you cut the last lap out, he drove with no risk at all.
Yeah, there was no risk in the portfolio whatsoever.
Except almost ending both their races.
Yeah.
On the final lap of the race.
Yeah.
But besides from that, actually, to be fair, they scrapped a lot, most of the Ferrari boys. And good on Fred Vasseur for letting them.
Yeah, well.
Because a lot of the time, holy shit, it's Ferrari's home track. You're in front of the Tifosi. You're going well. A lesser manager would have been like, just multi-21 theirs.
Yeah.
Like, just please don't touch, please don't crash.
Well, that's what McLaren told their drivers. And
Piastri hit too.
Piastri clobbered Norris.
I think Norris clobbered Piastri. I think it was the other way around.
No, they're blaming Piastri.
Are they?
Yeah, and I think Piastri got a 5-second time penalty for it.
No, he didn't. Lewis got a 5-second time penalty for hitting Piastri.
Yeah, no, Piastri got one as well. That's why he finished a bit higher, but then they chucked on the penalty and he finished.
Was that a post-race thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember because I don't recall seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And it was for clobbering Lando Norris.
Oof, that's a rough debrief.
My next key driver was, again, Alex Albon.
Yeah.
He is driving the legs off that Williams.
That Williams was quick at the start of the race too.
Yeah.
Like, he passed both the McLarens at some point and then managed to finish ahead of both the McLarens as well.
Yeah.
You know what? Even Logan Sargent finishing 13th, like, just showed that that was a Williams track.
Yeah.
Like, it was, we called it. Like, I honestly thought McLaren were going to do better this weekend, to be fair. To see them qualify, I think they were 7th and 8th, was pretty disappointing, but the Williams definitely showed what it can do in a straight line.
Yeah. And my next key driver was Lando Norris. I think he drove a really great race.
For the wars he was in, for the scraps he had, yeah.
Yeah.
I had delusions of grandeur that we might be able to pip a podium, but obviously the McLaren is not as good in a straight line as I thought it was, or as good in a straight line as its 2021 version of itself definitely was. I thought the package was more suited to high-speed corners, but something just didn't quite click this weekend.
And my final key driver is Liam Lawson in the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, 11th.
11th in his second
Almost
drive.
in the points.
Yeah.
In his second ever drive in Formula One.
And I mean, even Valtteri Bottas did well.
Yeah, well, Valtteri cracked the top 10.
Yeah.
For the first time in God knows how long.
But now we're going to see the return of the new segment called the Dead Shits of the Weekend.
Woo.
First one's Lewis Hamilton.
You reckon?
Yeah, well, I mean, that crash with Piastri.
That was
F2.
That was F2,
That was
yes.
very F2. And the other reason why he's got the dead shit, one of the dead shits, because there's more than one this weekend. Max Verstappen breaks his record, and then he sits there and goes, Max's record is irrelevant. It's only irrelevant because you didn't set it.
Did Lewis say that?
Yep.
I know Toto said that. Toto said,
said that.
The record's for Wikipedia that no one reads about.
Yeah, and then Hamilton said it's irrelevant.
But if Lewis Hamilton had done that in 2021 or 2020, greatest of all time,
Sky F1 would have been throwing confetti at him.
There would be, I mean, there probably already is, but there'd be another one just for shits and gigs. A fucking 10-foot bronze statue of Lewis Hamilton in the fucking Sky F1 building.
Yeah.
You know, throwing confetti at it. Like,
yeah,
10 in a row.
You'd have Natalie.
Better than Sebastian Vettel. You never hear the end of it. They'd be like replaying it on Sky F1, like, relive all of Lewis Hamilton's 10 consecutive victories.
Natalie Pinkman would be in the foyer having a fap over it, you know.
She probably always is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so much for Lewis Hamilton's going to be second in the Drivers' Championship this year.
Yes, expert. Yeah, no. Salty, I know.
But I mean the
and the comments about Lewis's comment about Max's teammates weren't as good as my teammates. Sergio Perez P2'd it.
Yeah.
Finished second this race despite starting behind both Ferraris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so much about your teammate. Oh, your teammate that out-qualified you. Yeah. And the former teammate, I'm pretty sure Alex Albon out-qualified Lewis Hamilton.
Yep.
So Max Verstappen's former teammate out-qualified you. His current teammate finished ahead of you. So that comment's dead in the water too, Lewis.
Yeah, and I mean, Max Verstappen's former teammate in Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
Because they were in Toro Rosso together.
Also finished ahead of you.
Yeah. And Hamilton, your own teammate, finished ahead of you.
So your teammate is... Okay, well, that sort of proves that his teammate's stronger than him.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe it's... we'll get to this later.
Okay.
We'll get to this later. But Lewis Hamilton, shut the fuck up. Next dead shit driver is Lance Stroll. Like, he is a bottomless pit of no talent.
I don't understand him. I don't understand his mentality. If he's looking at the exit door already, fair enough, but...
If he's got a contract for next year, if I was his dad, I'd be getting him to shave the eyebrows to lose some weight.
I just don't know, because they were consistently top 10ing together, Alonso and Stroll.
Yeah.
Like, Alonso would be out there, like, finishing P2, whatever. Stroll would always be there or thereabouts, and the last two races in particular, Zandvoort and Monza, he has been in fucking no man's land.
Yeah.
With no explanation. Like, what is going on in his head?
I don't
He's
know.
got to be looking at the exit door, right?
I hope he is.
Lawrence Stroll cannot extend his contract now.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's just tooling around as a mobile billboard.
He's last year's Daniel Ricciardo.
He might as well be. They might as well dig out the old life car from the 90s and get him tooling around in it.
Yeah, I just don't know what his motivation is, what his mental game is, because he's driving like dog shit. Like he's never set the world on fire. But
Oh, this is how bad it is. I'm waiting for him to qualify so badly that he breaks the 107% rule.
yeah, that rule doesn't exist anymore, thankfully for him.
No, it does.
Does it?
Yeah, 107%. If you qualify after 107%, you have to go to the stewards and prove that you deserve to be on the grid.
Yeah. I just don't know what it is. But I mean, I can say the same for Pierre Gasly. He was on the podium last weekend. He's 15th today.
Yeah, because the Alpines were nowhere.
Yeah, one of the Alpines didn't finish. The other one was fucking nowhere.
And they qualified 19th and 20th.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Lance Stroll right in front of them in 18th.
That's tough reading, man.
Yeah.
That's tough reading. To be outdriven by both Williams, both Alfa Romeos, and one AlphaTauri. The other one didn't start, but I guarantee if the other one started, the other AlphaTauri is probably going to be ahead of them too.
Yeah.
And the two Haas's, plus one lap each. Hulkenberg and Magnussen plus a lap each.
They were my next two dead shits. Like, they signed a new contract last weekend, and they celebrate this weekend by being nowhere.
Lapped. By being lapped.
Like,
and finishing behind Lance Stroll, which speaks for itself.
And I mean, their car has got so many parts off the Ferrari, and yet they completely botched it.
It was by proxy their home race as well.
Yeah.
And they fucked it.
Yeah. Alfa Romeo did better than them.
By proxy, it was probably also Alfa Romeo's home race as well.
Yeah, it was. Because they had a special livery for this weekend like the Ferraris did.
It was a good special livery too. Shame I never fucking saw it.
Yeah.
On track because Sky Sports is like, fuck that.
We got no risk up the front.
We got two Ferraris trying to kill each other. Lewis Hamilton's hitting everything he can fucking find. And the McLarens. I did not see the Alfa Romeo once last night. I completely forgot they had a special livery. I didn't see it.
Lewis Hamilton was hitting on more things than Jean-Claude Van Damme in the 90s.
Yeah.
The Haas's, like, just, what the fuck?
They've been sliding backwards for a while, though.
Yeah, but it's you want the Haas team to do well because of Gunther Steiner. Now I'm starting to sit here and go, I just want the Haas team to fuck off.
Maybe the Haas team needs to be bought out by Andretti.
No, I think Alpine needs to be bought out by Andretti. Haas needs to be bought out by fucking... Who's the... Penske.
Yeah.
Penske should buy it.
Penske should buy it and bring Scott McLaughlin over.
Or, you know what? You remember in the 90s, there was, in IndyCar, there was the team Newman Haas.
Yeah. Yeah, Ryan Newman.
That's what they need. They need Newman.
Yeah. Ryan Newman and...
Gene Haas.
Gene Haas, yeah.
Newman Haas. And
yeah. I'm pretty sure they still have a relationship in NASCAR.
And bring back Nigel Mansell.
He's a bit old, but...
Doesn't matter.
He can be team manager.
Yeah, no, he can be on the wheel. He can't be any
Can't
worse.
be any worse.
Can't be any worse than that.
He's at least got a bit of fucking gusto about him. I bet he's probably still got more gusto than fucking Hulkenberg and Magnussen combined it.
Yeah, well,
how old is he now? Like 80?
He's in his 60s. But I mean, he took the old Williams Red 5 out and still had it.
He still has one of the greatest passes ever on Ayrton Senna.
Yeah.
Like, still one of the most unbelievable passes ever in F1 history.
I know who Haas can get because he's still on a sabbatical from McLaren. Mika Hakkinen. Get Hakkinen back.
Bring him back. I bet he could still go. David Coulthard too, why not?
Yeah, fuck it.
Just bring
Mark
back
Mark Wahlberg. Mark Webber. You can put Mark Wahlberg in the car if you want. He could do better.
He could probably like act and drive.
You could probably put Vin Diesel in the car.
Yeah,
he'll go into space, but
he'll do it for family.
Yeah, for family.
Yeah,
yeah. Him and Paul Walker's fucking corpse. I mean, Christ, you could put Ayrton Senna's corpse in that car and it'd drive better.
Mate, it'd be close. You could put unconscious Michael Schumacher.
Yeah. Comatose Schumacher and
Ayrton
Senna's
Senna's
corpse. They'd get better results than these two.
They'd outdrive Lance Stroll pretty easy, I reckon.
I could outdrive Lance Stroll.
Be like Weekend at Bernie's. And Senna's corpse just... There's no Bernie's punching in purple sectors. Just pulling strings from like...
Complete with that look on his face like Bernie had, that smirky face.
You would too.
Speaking of which, have you seen the second movie?
I have not. I only ever watched the first one.
The second movie, they put a voodoo curse on Bernie. So he leads him to like this hidden stash of money, but it only happens when there's music playing.
Yeah.
So you're walking along like a zombie
Yeah.
when there's music playing. He gets a fucking spear from a spear gun shot through his head. And so they're trying to get away from the bad guys, and they've got the money in a chest, and they're in the Caribbean. So they find a horse and carriage, but the dude who's got the horse and carriage, he sees Bernie walking around with a spear through his head, freaks out, jumps on the horse, and takes it. So I think you can guess where they're going with this. They hook Bernie up to the carriage, still holding the crate of money, and use the CD player on the carriage to get him to get away from the bad guy. Well, he's still got the spear through his head. They hooked that up to the spear.
That's hysterical. You're going to have to watch it.
Oh, if you can find it. It's not an easy movie to
It's
find.
one of those relics that is lost to time.
Oh. But yeah, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, like, Christ almighty.
Yeah, bad. Bad.
All right. It's time to move on to the news. First news item, Lewis Hamilton has re-signed with Mercedes until 2025.
That's not the worst option considering a lot of contracts are running out in 2025.
I think this is his last contract.
Me too.
But
I don't think he'll stick around for the new regs.
But he's sitting there saying, I've got unfinished business.
With what?
He wants another championship.
He wants the 8th. Yeah.
You're like,
You really think you're going to beat Max?
But right, let's go back here. I thought records were irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what I read on Wikipedia, apparently.
Yeah. No, they're only relevant when it's you.
That's right. That's right. Oh, 10 in a row. It's irrelevant. You just read it on Wikipedia. Yeah, but you were so desperate for that 8th world title
He's not going to get it.
that he still whinges about that he was robbed. Robbed.
You know what? I'm going to say this, and a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but
Who cares? We're here for the hate.
as I extend my middle finger in your general direction, so choke on this with this, I think his form is on the decline.
The way he drove yesterday, yes.
Well, you
Actually,
can't-
the way he drove in Zandvoort as well
yeah,
wasn't great.
he's constantly getting beaten now by George Russell.
Yep. And he's hitting people. He never used to hit people.
Yeah, that's because he was in the car that was out the front streaking ahead.
Yeah, he only knows how to drive from the front.
Yeah, that's what Fernando Alonso said.
Becoming a little bit apparent that maybe that might be the case.
Yeah. So this has got to be his last contract, but he's not going to get another championship.
No.
No.
Yeah. No.
The next news item is that George Russell has re-signed with Mercedes until 2025.
Yeah, that's fine. He's going to be there for a long time.
There's a guy who at some point will be fighting for a championship.
Yeah. Yeah, he is the... Yeah. Lewis's problem is age.
Yeah.
Like, he's lost his step a little bit.
Well, he's 41.
Yeah, but Fernando's like 42, 43. How old's Fernando?
No, Fernando's 41.
Yeah,
Lewis
is like
Hamilton's
39.
39, yeah.
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 Fernando can still go there. Sometimes.
Yeah. He's consistent.
Yeah.
A grown-up.
Sometimes.
Like Jackie X.
When it goes his way. Grown up. What do you want? A driver or a brush salesman?
We've got Fast and Furious references, Rush references. Oh,
the inside jokes are back now. It's just us two.
Yeah.
We could just drop inside jokes like the old P&J days.
Oh, we miss Longhorn though.
You know, we miss Longhorn.
We
We
miss
miss
Longhorn.
Barry.
Yes.
We haven't done a full squad potty in a while. Hey, Singapore's next, I think.
Yeah.
If you're out there, Barry.
Yeah.
Singapore, and it's probably going to start. I'll probably start at 10.
It starts at 11.
Really?
I've already looked up because I fly back from Brisbane.
It's starting at 11 in Singapore.
Yeah.
Shit, that's late.
Yeah.
It started at 8 o'clock Singapore time when we were there. And that's 10 o'clock here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shame.
Now they're doing a bit later so it can be a bit cooler.
I was going to be like, if it started early enough, we could watch the race here. And we'll probably not do the podcast, or you could just watch the race.
Yeah, well, I mean, my flight doesn't land until bloody 8:30.
That's probably good for you then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Next to your item, I will have a photo up for it. We don't have a photo here at the moment, but they've revealed next year's F2 car.
Looks a lot like the F1 car.
Yeah.
Really good and aggressive. Very high rear wing to dissipate the air over the top of the following car to make it drive better.
Hopefully they put really big rear view mirrors on it.
Hopefully they just hang the big halo rear view mirror with the sensors and the beepers on it, because they clearly need it.
No, you know what they need? Like, they've got the rear view mirrors. They need to hang the rear view mirrors you put on if you're towing a caravan.
Those like extensions.
Yeah.
They've just got like truck mirrors. It's like how it's like 20 different angles so you can see your blind spots and shit.
1980 Land Cruiser rear view mirrors. Just those big suckers right on the side.
That's aerodynamic.
Oh, well, they'll see what's coming up beside them.
They won't have a choice.
Complete with assholes are closer than you appear.
Assholes are closer than they. Objects in the mirror are losing.
Let them in. No, assholes are closer than they appear. Crash into them.
Yeah. Just swerve.
Just swerve.
The beat means to swerve. Because that's how you drive.
It's a 10-second car.
Well, 10 seconds to the back of the flatbed, baby. But no, I really do like the look of the new cars, and I'm glad they've adapted.
Yeah, they'll look really good crashed into a wall.
They'll look great getting thrown off the track the way you guys already do it. So you already drive them like Indy cars, so why not?
Oh, speaking of which, I actually saw footage of 2 Indy cars running next year's new hybrid engines.
Yes, they sound good.
Yeah, they sound a lot better than the F1 cars.
Yes, they sound great.
Like, they still sound like an Indy car.
Yes.
And, I mean, the video, it was some dude who was just there, but he was, like, filming it on his mobile phone. But they ran both the Honda and the Chevrolet engines.
Yep.
And they just both sound wicked.
While we're on the subject, even though you're a backstabbing arsehole for ditching McLaren, congratulations, Alex Palou, on winning the 2023 IndyCar Championship. Oh. Wrapped it up at Portland last night.
Oh.
So good for you, even though you weaseled your way out of the McLaren contract that they had set for you, and even gave you 2 test sessions in the old McLaren Formula 1 car, and you decided to turn your back on us and stab us in the back. Congratulations on your championship, I guess.
I think in the other room I've got a bottle of salt. You're sounding a little bit salty.
Oh, mate, you think I sound salty? You should have heard what Zach Brown said. Oh, boy.
It wouldn't have anything similar to Otmar Zafner about Oscar Piastri, would it?
Oh, it's a bit salty. I mean, but it's fair. Like, we gave him 2 runs in the F1 car because his deal was he's going to Aaron McLaren. He was going to partner Pato Award. And he fucking turned us down at the 11th hour and went back to Chip Ganassi Racing, I think he's with. Yeah, we gave him all these resources. He was walking around the paddock in a team shirt. He was doing the young driver test. He was doing everything. But McLaren gave him all this preparation time, all this shit, all this support. And then he's just like, no, I'm going to stay with Chip Ganassi or whoever he's with. I'm not really sure. So, yeah, he fucking turned around and stabbed him in the back, but, you know, he won a championship with his team that he's going to re-sign with, so good on you, man. Whatever. Whatever. I hope Pato Award fucking leaves you for dead next year.
Right. The final news item, again, I don't have a photo up for it yet, but so Ferrari, there's a little bit of conflicting news about this. So Fred Vasseur, team principal at Ferrari, was talking about next year's car being an evolution of this year's car. And then Aldo Costa, who is the head designer at Ferrari, he came in and said, no, we're scrapping this year's car. We're building a brand new one from scratch.
Ground up.
Absolutely. Like, even the chassis is going to be brand new.
Really?
Brand new chassis.
Sounds expensive.
Aerodynamics. That's why they haven't upgraded this year's car that much, because they're sinking all the cash into that.
Fred Vasseur's like, oh, what are we doing with the money? Ground up. Really?
It's a government telecommunications project.
It's a pyramid scheme, I can't tell you. Can't tell you.
Pyramid multinational.
Need to know basis, and apparently you being team principal is not enough to need to know.
Is it one of them need to know things? Like one of them James Bond films? That's right. Need to know. You know? 'Cause you need to know. If you know what movie that is, put it in the comments.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking
They
Barrels.
ruined it now.
Yeah, I know. Too late. I'll put that in the comments. Yeah.
Did you hear the rumour that Audi were headhunting Carlos Sainz?
Yes.
Yes. You reckon it'll go?
I think he might. I think
When's that? 2026.
Yeah, well, he signed with Ferrari until the end of 24, I think.
Where's that photo I put in the group chat of all the contract lengths?
Probably in the group chat.
Yeah, we should put that up on this episode, because rolling back. There we go. All right, current F1 driver contracts. Max Verstappen is signed on until 2028. Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Lando Norris, and Valtteri Bottas are all signed on until 2025. Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, Alexander Albon, Kevin Magnussen, Nico Hülkenberg, and Pierre Gasly are all signed on until the end of next year. Yuki Tsunoda, Logan Sargent, Daniel Ricciardo, and Zhou Guanyu are all signed on until the end of this year, and Lance Stroll is recurring.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to put 2023 next to that. Because I think his dad's a fucking lunatic if he resigns next year.
I dare someone to actually write that on the Aston Martin F1 team's Twitter.
Yeah.
Larry Stroll is a fucking lunatic for retaining his son next year.
If he does. No reason you should. No reason you should. So yeah, Leclerc and Sainz's contracts both run out in 24. If Audi wants Carlos Sainz, they can get him a year early, maybe. But Valtteri Bottas is signed until 25, so I think they won't have to wait till Bottas' contract runs out at Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, but Zhou Guanyu's is up at the end of this year. So if they just sign him for 1 year and then ditch him, and next year the team reverts back to being Sauber. It's not going to be Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
So it's either Zhou Guanyu gets ditched now for Théo Pourchaire, or Théo Pourchaire goes and drives an IndyCar.
Yeah, well.
He'd be well suited to it, like everyone else in F2.
Lead from the front, mate, and you stay out of trouble. It's like NASCAR.
It's no risk.
Yeah.
No risk in the portfolio.
If you're the lead car, you stay out of the big wreck in the middle.
Yeah. Well, you like to hope, anyway. Right, so that's actually all the news items. Like, Ferrari has started work on next year's car, and they're building it from scratch.
Yep, I need to see what the timeline on McLaren's wind tunnel is. That should be operational at the end of this year, so... And if they can improve on that, on this year's car, that'd be fantastic.
Well, while we're here, while we got a couple of minutes...
Yeah.
So we'll get back to the team standings. I do have them on the screen at the moment, but we'll get back to the actual team standings here. But what teams do you think have actually, like, if you pick 3 teams that are on the ascent in F1 at the moment, who would you go for?
Well, the answer's pretty obvious. Williams, McLaren, and Aston Martin. Despite the fact Aston Martin have plateaued, McLaren and Williams have definitely gone up, and Aston Martin, comparatively from last year, have gone up too.
Well, Williams and McLaren, definitely. But for me, the third team that's on the ascent is Ferrari.
Now,
From
yes.
where they were,
Yeah.
and the 3 teams that are on decline are Alpine, Aston Martin,
AlphaTauri.
I was going to say the Haas.
Yeah, the Haas is on the way back down. The AlphaTauri's dog shit.
The Haas is going to be the new Williams at this rate.
The Alpine's a long way down. And to be fair, the Mercedes has improved a bit this year too.
Yeah, but...
And the Red Bull's just improved on perfection, so...
Yeah, I mean, Red Bull's just Red Bull.
The Red Bull's just gone from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 2, you know? Is what it is.
But I think if Ferrari keep going the way they are, there's a very slim chance that they could actually
They can still catch Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the way Aston Martin's going, famous last words here, but I think Aston Martin is stuck in 4th.
Yeah, I think they're going to be stuck there. I think Ferrari's a good chance to catch Mercedes if this continues.
Yeah.
Depending on what Mercedes has left in the bag. And Red Bull don't really need to
you know
do
what?
much.
I'm going to make an even bigger call. They won't get them, but I reckon McLaren, by the end of the season, is going to be nipping at Aston Martin's heels.
Yeah, they're too far away to catch now, but it will be close.
Yeah. There'll be a glimmer of hope.
They've far and away gotten out of that bottom shit heap they were in at the start of the year. They've left Alpine for dead.
Alpine are just sitting in the
Williams,
desert.
man, if they had a better start to the year, would always catch Alpine. But look at Williams. They were last, 5 races ago? And now they're 10 points ahead of us.
Yeah.
They're like far and away the best of the ragtag. They've sort of separated from the dog shit. They're not quite Alpine level, but they're getting there.
And you know what? I think Pat Fry joining the team is going to help them even more.
Keep that trajectory going.
And if they can keep that trajectory going, I see...
If they start next year the way they end this year, they're going to be the Alpine of next year. They'll be 5th, 6th. They'll be 5th in the championship. They might even be chasing McLaren.
Look, if you were asked me, say this time next year, who's going to be where, I'm not going to put them in specific order, but there'll be a Red Bull, there'll be a Mercedes, a Ferrari, a McLaren, and a Williams. Because I think Aston Martin are going to bottom out.
I think Aston Martin have plateaued for now.
Yeah.
For this year at least. See what they come with next year, but I think this year's car, for as astonishing as it was at the start, has plateaued ever since, and everyone's caught them. So.
And honestly, I think the Haas is going to be dead last. The Haas is...
I think the Haas will be, because I think with Daniel Ricciardo at AlphaTauri next year, there will be some improvement there. It might not be much, but it'll be enough to get ahead of the Haas.
Yeah, well, but I mean, like, the Haas is just going nowhere. They're just a mobile billboard.
They've been on 11 points forever.
Yeah.
How long have they been stuck on 11 points for now? Like 8, 9 races?
Oh, no, they got a couple of points a couple of races ago, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Alfa Romeo got a point.
Yeah.
You know, one more point and they're tied with Haas.
Yep.
How stupid are Haas going to look if Alfa Romeo beats them?
It's a possibility too.
Particularly when Haas is almost the Ferrari B team. You got Alfa Romeo that's taking Ferrari power units but making the rest of the car themselves and has got the best wind tunnel, yet seems to come up with a shit box.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the weight distribution is a disaster and it handles like a pig.
All the gear and no idea, I think they call that.
Yeah. I was just quoting Nicky Lauda talking about the Ferrari, but it applies to the Alfa Romeo. Like
It's going to be a big slap in the face if Alfa Romeo get ahead of Haas.
Yeah.
It really will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, now I'm starting to think maybe Gunther Steiner needs to go.
For his mental health, yes.
Because, I mean, It's just turning into a glorified Otmar Zaf now.
Yeah,
No?
yeah. At least he's got fucking personality.
True.
Unlike Omar.
True.
He's just a wet blanket of fucking personality vacuum.
Yeah. But, Alpine is just fucking chaos there. And the last one, they proved us again. They proved it again last weekend at Zandvoort. Gasly gets on the podium. Next weekend,
Nowhere. Yep.
where are they? Fucking nowhere.
Yep. Back to the back.
They're
Back
about
to the
as
front.
they're about as consistent as a Macca's burger. Just nowhere. Just
They're about as it's about as consistent as getting your Macca's order right.
oh,
The Asians give me the wrong shit.
about as consistent as KFC giving you the sauce with your nuggets. That's how consistent they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's or consistent as Domino's delivering pizzas.
On time.
Okay, ask Shay from Stop the Damn Match.
Yeah.
Okay, but right, so we're going to go to the drivers' standings. Leading the championship by a country mile and a bomb threat is Max Verstappen with 364 points. Sergio Perez is second with 219 points. Fernando Alonso, by some miracle, is third in the championship with 170 points. Lewis Hamilton is fourth with 164 points. Carlos Sainz is fifth with 117 points. Charles Leclerc is sixth with 111 points. George Russell is seventh with 109 points. Lando Norris is eighth with 79 points. Lance Stroll is ninth with 40.
You want to talk about miracle? He's still in the top 10.
How?
How shit are the other drivers? Well, to be fair, he's only had 2 shit races in a row. Like 2 absolute dog shit races were his last 2. He was consistently scoring points with Fernando at the start of the year. That's why Fernando's still third by proxy of that, although Lewis is going to catch him in the next race or 2 and take third position.
In 10th place is Pierre Gasly with 37 points.
Yeah, by proxy of that podium last week.
But you know what? I've got the rest of the points here. Okay, so Pierre Gasly is 10th with 37 points. Esteban Ocon is 11th with 36 points. Oscar Piastri is 12th, also with 36 points.
Oh, so they're only just outside the top 10.
Alex Albon is 13th with 21 points.
Go, kid.
Nico Hulkenberg is 14th with 9 points. Valtteri Bottas is 15th with 6 points. Zhou Guan Yu is 16th with 4 points. Yuki Tsunoda is 17th with 3 points. Kevin Magnussen is 18th with 2 points. You got Logan Sargent, Liam Lawson, Nick De Vries, and Daniel Ricciardo all with 0 points. And I sit here and I go, why is Nick De Vries not on the grid? It's just, mind-numbingly crazy.
Nick De Vries is not on the grid, but Sergeant Largent is.
Yeah.
Go figure. And Mick Schumacher's not on the grid.
Yeah, because Haas sat there and went, you're too expensive.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
How's that working out for you?
Yeah. Team standings, Red Bull Racing is winning the Constructors with 583
By 2
points.
country miles.
Yeah. Oh.
They could have had it wrapped up by this weekend, but they didn't want to enough. It won't be long. It won't be long. It might be like Japan or Mexico or something.
Yeah.
They're going to wrap this up with races to spare. Same with Max and the drivers, to be honest.
I reckon Max will wrap it up at Japan. It'll be another soggy race like last year.
I haven't done the maths, but yeah, that's the exact same race he wrapped it up last year.
Yeah. Mercedes is second with 273 points. Ferrari is bumped up to third with 228 points. Aston Martin is fourth with 217 points. McLaren is fifth with 115 points. Alpine is sixth with 73 points. Williams is seventh with 21 points. Haas is eighth with 11 points. Alfa Romeo is ninth with 10 points. And bringing up the rear, 10th place, AlphaTauri, 3 points.
Yeah, they've been stuck down in the doldrums for a long time now.
Yeah, wow.
You want to talk about house-beating dog shit for Ferrari's B team? AlphaTauri is Red Bull's B team.
They might as well be their Z team.
And they've got 3 points. They are the B spec of the Red Bull.
But at least next year we won't have to see the AlphaTauri coming last.
Yeah, because they're getting handed the RB19 apparently.
No, because they're getting rebranded.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, apparently. So everyone's like, oh.
Apparently they're going to be called, is it Boss Hugo Racing or some shit?
Yeah, Hugo Boss Racing.
Really?
Yeah. Because I think they're shutting down the AlphaTauri clothing brand.
Because it was so popular.
Oh, yeah.
It's about as popular as their fucking car.
Yeah.
As popular as their drivers.
About as popular as Lard Stroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're getting a rebrand, but we're not going to know until the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if Red Bull are legally allowed to give AlphaTauri the RB19. Surely not.
I don't think they can.
They didn't build it themselves. It's not their car.
No.
Yeah.
That's. I think they can give them the chassis. Then
Yeah.
they got to develop the aero
Yeah,
themselves.
you've got to do the aero and shit yourself, which means nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, they could sit there and say, well, we hacked Red Bull and got their technical data from 2022,
Which is illegal.
but we hacked them. They didn't give it to us willingly because it was beamed around via the satellites.
That's illegal. That's what McLaren did. Well, he didn't leave it on the fucking photocopy. That's what McLaren did in 2007 and got in massive trouble for it.
Yeah, but that's because you left it on the
You left it on the copier.
No,
Well,
it was
the disgruntled
it was
Ferrari
it was
employee.
our guy jumping ship to your guys
Yeah.
that left it on the copier. It's not us. It's the dipshit in between.
Why did you leave the spoon up on the table?
Here you go, creating another fable.
That's it.
Right. That's it.
That's it.
That is it. So we got the social medias.
Yeah.
So you can watch this video on YouTube, the F1 Chat, care of Vindicator 18 channel. You can also watch it on our dedicated channel called the F1 Chat 1. Don't forget the 1.
Don't forget the Juan.
The Juan, yes. We are on Facebook, where you can interact with us
Yeah.
on the F1
You can
Chat.
call us dum-dums live in person,
Yeah,
basically.
the F1 Chat. We are on the Twitter, the F1 Chat 1.
Don't forget the one. It's called X now, and I haven't been on there in 3 weeks.
Oh, no, I sent Ed Boone from from NetherRealm Studios a tweet last night. First time I sent a tweet in probably 6 months.
Yeah, nice. Not missing much. It's a cesspool of a place.
Thanks, Elon Musk.
Mm.
Then there is Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
We're on Rumble, the F1 Chat, and we're on the Spotify, the F1 Chat.
Heck yeah.
Right, we're going to be back in 2 weeks. Singapore.
Yes.
Hopefully, we can get a Longhorn and a Barry enchilada.
I think Barry would enjoy doing the Singapore 40.
I think he would.
Assuming he gets to watch the race.
Yeah, assuming that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll also have Mr. Longhorn back from his assignment.
Hopefully he's not out standing in the field for much longer.
Yeah.
He's probably just trying to find... He's trying to find Soken Largent in the field.
Trying to console him.
Yeah. Come here, Soken. Or trying to end him, probably.
Give him a big hug and then just use a shiv.
And just Ramboing along the ground in the grass. Just like, come here, Soken.
Or doing what Rambo does at the end of the fourth one with the main dude.
Yeah.
Where he gets that homemade knife, rams it into it, and just
Oof.
garrots him. And then you watch the body roll it out. It's rolling in 2 different parts.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That was a brutal movie.
Mm.
I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah, sounds good.
The 5th one was crap. Anyway,
Ooh, fair enough.
first one was good. 4th one was good. 2nd one was good. 3rd one's crap. 5th one's the worst. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. On behalf of myself, on behalf of JB, and Longhorn away on assignment.
In the field.
In the field.
Out here in the field. Something to that effect.
Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week, in 2 weeks' time. Until then, it is goodbye.